Crusades. Grand Master's Palace. Rhodes, Greece. The Grand Master's Palace was built below the Acropolis of ancient Rhodes, where originally the Temple of the Sun God stood. In the same place, in the 7th century, there was also a Byzantine palace, and then in the 14th century, the Knight of St. John built the palace as a residence of Grand Master as an administrative center. It was destroyed in 1856 by a large explosion of gunpowder that was hidden in the basement of St. John Church. The Italians then rebuilt the Grand Master's palace according to the original drawings in 1940. The Fourth Crusades were based in Greece, and the Grand Master's castle was one of the main fortresses during the time. This had impact on contemporary Christians by making them believe what the church had to say about the Crusades, but some stories have different sides, which others believe is right. The Christianity of the Middle Ages has influenced contemporary Christians by spreading the message of Christianity all over the world, which helps contemporary Christians know more about Middle Ages and how Christianity played a huge part in it.
Our Lady of Lourdes, France. A pilgrimage is a journey to a holy place or shrine, commenced as a spiritual mission to obtain supernatural help or as a form of repentance for sins. A pilgrim is one who undertakes a pilgrimage. The idea or the theory of pilgrimage was eagerly accepted by the medieval people from all walks of life, young or old, wealthy or poor. The concept of pilgrimage is an important religious belief in the Middle Ages, both in terms of religious activity and as a way of medieval life. In the Middle Ages, pilgrimages were very popular. There had been pilgrimages to the Holy Land as early as the 4th century with the discovery by Saint Helena, the mother of the Byzantine Emperor Constantine, of what was considered to be the true cross. It also gave them a means to demonstrate their repentance for any sins they might have committed. Going on a pilgrimage was also the only way a poor person could see some of the world in those times. Common people barely had enough money for necessities and certainly none for travel. The Christianity of the Middle Ages influenced contemporary Christians in many different ways. One way in which someone may have been affected is through repentance and renewal, as a way of increasing their faith. Another way in which people may have been affected is through learning to appreciate one's own life. Pilgrimage is also a chance to get to know oneself a lot more. They learn to love themselves a lot more in many different ways. In addition, people may have been affected by pilgrimage through the experience of acceptance. Pilgrims experienced the feeling of being accepted for who they were, feeling a sense of belonging, and made many new friends and acquaintances, most of which were likely to stay in touch even once the pilgrimage was over.
The conversion of Constantine is very significant to us today. This is because of the Battle of the Milvian Bridge. What used to happen to Christians is that when Constantine believed in the Roman gods, Christians were being persecuted for believing in God. They tortured Christians by denying them status in society, business opportunities, prohibited from worshipping God, Jesus, the saints they believe in, attacked by mobs, tortured and killed in organized campaigns by the Roman government. So how did Christians survive while Constantine ruled? They did this by putting a fish-shaped figure on the doors of some buildings to mark they were Christian safeholds. But after the battle at the Milvian Bridge, the soldiers spread the word about the Christian faith, so Christians didn't have to stay in hiding. So now, why is it important that Constantine converted? This is because when he converted into Christianity, this meant the safety of Christians. So now Constantine allowed Christians to believe in God, Jesus, and the saints they believed in. So now Sunday is a holy day, so people don't have to work, and the exemption of some clergy from taxes. He also funded Christian leaders and the construction of churches. This is very important to Christians today because if Constantine didn't convert into Christianity, Christians would have kept getting persecuted, meaning that there would be a very small amount of Christians today.
The Milvian Bridge is significant to the Catholics in the Middle Ages because that's where the battle between Constantine was. The battle is significant because that is where Constantine painted the Christian logo on their shields to help them, which led them to a victory. And Constantine was the first Roman emperor to allow Christians to practice their beliefs in public without being killed.